So creepy. Ooh, creepy abandoned hallways like some horror film. Ooh, chair. Help me. I'm dying inside.
Imagine, it's 2017, you're a freshman in high school. It's your very first theater experience in said high school. You have just finished the most shocking opening night performance that you could have imagined and you want to curl up and forget it ever happened. But you can, thus you are fearing for your life in a car while Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You is blasting as you go to Steak and Shake.
Are you guys
I'm gonna throw up from cough and like yelling.
Do you need cough drops? I have some.
No, it's just like I'm gonna throw up from all the yelling.
And it's only fucking 10:05.
And we're usually there till like 10:30.
Yeah, so
And I'm like, excuse me, bitch.
they can come.
Sounds scary, right? Now, I bet you're probably wondering, Janie, why are you making a video on this several years later if it was so bad? Well, through memories as one does, I found some highlights from the show, and even though it was probably my worst theater experience I've ever had, there was some good to it, you know? I liked the show, the flashy dance numbers, and just some of the experience wasn't a total failure. I doubt anyone from the show will watch this, but if by chance you are one of those people, this is most likely not directed at you. For the most part, people were nice to me. It was just weird, you know? I almost gave up shows because of it, but thankfully I did not. I'm still doing crew, and hopefully in the future acting for other shows. So, you know, it's not you. It's just certain people that you probably know who they are. Anyway, enjoy my take on Chicago, and yeah. Now, those videos were videos downstairs. This being my first show, I was a member of the props crew, which means that in case anyone lost anything, we were supposed to find it. Now, there's too many people in props, so I really truthfully, I didn't do a whole lot. We did a lot of goofing around, but that was the old props room back before we got our new Bartlett Center. And yeah, as you can see, it was pretty chaotic. Up next, I'm just going to show you a little bit of secret recordings I got of us, well, not me, them performing some of the music. Because I don't know if any of you have seen Chicago or have heard the music from Chicago, but the music is just so jazzy and great. Because it takes place in the 1920s, and I really think you'll enjoy some of the footage I got.
And what did we say, Rob? That note you wrote me.
Do it to mama. Okay, don't know the word. Final section of clips that I have are from the set painting portion, and really it's not me painting the set, it's me talking about it. It was probably the only experience I had that was super positive because it was so cool. We got to build this giant jail-like set for Cell Block Tango, and it was the funnest part of the experience. It's nice, but incredibly cold. Like, seriously. I don't have a hat or gloves, and I cannot get my gloves on because I'm holding bagels. Just got done at rehearsal. Bagels. I have to wait 20 minutes or so. Well, not 20 minutes, until my mom gets here. Yay, waiting. Now, really, before I go, I'm gonna share with you the explanation for the video at the beginning where I was on my way to Steak and Shake. Now, in itself, the act of just being in that car would not be the worst possible thing. It's just the things that had like led up to it, because it was opening night, right? And that was the only night of the 3 nights where I showed up because I was a scared freshman, you know? And basically, to summarize, we had just gotten done, took our bows, felt pretty happy, you know? And in theater, they have like all these traditions that I'm not going to go into detail on because you're kind of sworn to secrecy, whatever. But the way that this particular senior girl who I knew had introduced it to me, she just told me to like grab her hand and to not be scared. And like, I don't know about you, but that just sounds weird, you know? It sounds scary. So I did it because like I trusted said person. And we all got into like partners, us girls, in the girls' dressing room or whatever. Then all of a sudden, we just start like stampeding. But the problem is, me and the girl I was with, I tripped over a trash can, so we went splat on the floor in the girls' dressing room. And we're just laughing, but we can't do anything because these girls are running into the room next door and we're just getting trampled. And then, oh my gosh, no. Crazy stuff right there. So eventually we get up and we get into the room, and let me tell you, I can't really go into details on what I saw, but my freshman eyes were not prepared for what I saw, and it was just crazy. And then to make it more interesting, my choir teacher at the time comes in and she's yelling at us all to get out, to go home. And like, I was very confused, but later I came to find out that my choir director did get into a little bit of trouble due to the suggestive nature of this show. So yeah, that happened. And then of course, since we were the ones who had made the reservations at the after opening night restaurant spot, we had to run to the car, and I was in shock, you know? I wasn't prepared. And just getting into that car and things afterwards were just like overwhelmingly bad for my anxiety. It's like, I remember I was texting my friend Georgia being like, oh my gosh, I'm not okay. And she's very concerned with what's happening. And I don't know what to tell her because I didn't really process it yet. And no, it's bad when you get to the restaurant, you have your food, and then afterwards a senior comes up to you and says, hey, listen, I saw that you were scared, I'm so sorry. Shout out to them, by the way. Like, they, made it so I didn't quit theater. But yeah, clearly it was made apparent that that's not how it was supposed to go and not how our high school handles theater. And I was really glad to just get the reassurance that this isn't normal, you know? And in future shows, I aim to be a good upperclassman that didn't, you know, scare everybody else, because man, let me tell you, that was not fun. So now I'm gonna just play a little clip of me singing one of my favorite songs from the musical, Mr. Cellophane. Amos was probably my favorite character, just because he's like the lovable husband of Roxy, and he feels ignored, but overall he's just this nice, goofy kind of guy, and I hope you enjoy watching this video and enjoy my singing. Stood up in a crowd and raised his voice up way out loud and waved his arm and shook his leg. You'd notice him if someone in the movie show yelled, "Fire!" in the second row. This whole place is a powder keg. You'd notice him. And even without clucking like a hen, everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that personage should be invisible, inconsequential me. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you could look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. Suppose you was a little cat, residing in a person's flat, who fed you fish and scratched your ears. You'd notice him. Suppose yous was a woman wed, and sleepin' in a double bed, besides one man for 7 years. You'd notice him. A human being's made of more than air. With all that bulk, you're bound to see him there, unless that person being next to you is unimpressive, undistinguished. You know who. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk